What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video here today. We're back for the second to last round of the FIA Manufacturer Series here on GT Sport. Here today in the Group 4 cars at Mount Panorama. As you can see, thought I'd take a Jim Beam livery, which I found probably about 20 minutes before this started. And I thought, you know what, Jim Beam, Dick Johnson, that just kind of come into my head straight away. So I thought, yep, this is what I'm going to go with, because to me that just looks right on the mountain. But anyway, so getting ready to start qualifying. Basically still in one-shot qualifying. 6 minutes I think is how long this session is for. Trying to burn as much fuel as I can on this outlap as well. Now, one crucial thing to note, and if you are an eagle-eyed viewer, okay, oh my god, English, I'm sorry. Anyway, if you are an eagle-eyed viewer, is what I was trying to say, you would notice that I was riding throttle and brake at the same time. Now, if you've been following me on social media for a little bit, you would know that my next level racing sim has arrived. It's about a month late, but better late than never. So I've already made the switch over to that for GT Sport. I am still on the controller for all other things, particularly F1 related at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. I am planning to make the change in the future. Really, after AOR's done, then I'll definitely start to put in a few more hours just in general on the wheel and so forth, and we'll see you know, where that takes us, and who knows what could happen in the future. But anyway, getting back on with the action, we're going away for our qualifying lap now. I felt like we could definitely get a top 5 in this session. I did attempt this race at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, about 3 hours before AOR was supposed to start, really just so I could get a gauge for you know, strategy and just you know, roughly where I stand against some of these relatively top guys. The first race didn't really go all that well, not going to lie. Made a few mistakes, got barged around a bit as well, and some of the incidents I'd definitely take blame for. Obviously, learning the wheel, it's a lot different to sitting just sitting in a lounge chair with a little hand controller. So it's definitely a big change to get used to. But I'm already you know, just loving being able to use the wheel. It's real good fun, and hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit quicker and quicker as time goes on. But at the moment, this has been a pretty decent lap. We've actually got a Lexus right behind us as well, so we'll be giving him a tow all the way down Conrod Straight. Probably not ideal, to be honest. I don't think he's close enough that he'll be able to pass us before the chase, so we don't have to worry about that, thankfully, as I've noticed that happen in a few people's races that I've saw, and that really screwed up their qualifying. I don't know why people try to do that, to be honest, but anyway, into the chase now. Third gear, click the apex, hard on the power. Nice run. You can see how much Alexis has gained on us there just with the slipstream, so I wouldn't mind betting that he is definitely going to jump us. But where are the two of us going to go specifically? We're currently 17th and 18th, so we're second last and last at the moment. But where are we going to go? Across the line, it's P6, P7 now as we get demoted. The Lexus goes up to P4, so really nice lap from him there. Obviously, slipstream assisted as well, no doubt. But P7 for us, still a pretty decent starting spot. I feel like we could have definitely been a little bit further up the field, but I will take P7. I think we can definitely fight from here. I'm aiming for a top 5, to be honest. I feel like that's definitely possible, but let's see. Alright, so like I said a few moments ago, P7, as you can see there, in a beautiful little Jim Beam Ferrari. I actually really like that livery, to be honest. It looks really, really nice. But anyway, getting ready to roll here. First race on the new wheel and on the new setup, so hopefully this goes well. 3, 2, 1, away we go. See the planes flying overhead. Pretty cool actually to see that. It's really, it's well, it's just that, it's pretty damn cool to see. But down into turn 1, main aim for this first lap was really just to survive. I didn't want to make contact with anybody. I didn't want to get penalties. I didn't want to try any kind of stupid moves which might, you know, come back to bite us and, you know, lead to penalties and then getting hit later on in the race or something. I just wanted to keep it clean for this first lap. So tucked in under the rear wing of Rosmo in the BMW, got Kart Racer up there in P5 in the Aston Martin. A couple of familiar faces on the channel by now. Cutting on to the end of lap 1 though, through the chase, and we're going to try and have a go at Rosmo for P6. He's holding us up a little bit, so we go for a dive, but we've got it all wrong. Too deep into the, or onto the grass I should say, and we've completely bottled that from a potential P6. Now down to P9, could be P10 here in a moment, as it looks to the outside. I think we should be safe staying on to this position, and I think we are. We're going to be close into turn 1. Just got his nose in there. Ferrari versus Lamborghini. Who's going to win out on this particular occasion? Eyes on the radar. I think we do just. That was very close. We might have made contact. I'm not too sure. I looked behind just to see if he was going to flash the lights at me, because if he did, then that kind of indicates to me that I may have squeezed him a little bit, but from what I can gather, nothing like that happened. Kart Racer there with a big time penalty dropped him a long way down the field, so that's back up into P8 now. Now up behind a Renault coming down Conrod straight, trying to out-drag a Renault Megane. Probably not the hardest thing in the world to do. Hard on the brakes into the chase now. We get the job done. That's up to P7, and next up is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name to be honest, because I'm absolutely hopeless with pronunciations, but down into the final corner, we're going to go for a send up the inside of the Lexus, and we get the move done. And now he has to worry about defending from the Renault, but the Renault actually gets the spot up into P7 for him, P6 for us, and we're doing good at the moment. We should definitely be a bit further up if it wasn't for that mistake when we were trying to overhaul Rosmo for what was P6 at the time, but it's what it is anyway. First race on the new wheel, still adjusting, and you know, I don't think we're doing too bad at the moment. Running P6, cutting onto lap 4, UNC Pubes 16 with a bit of a run on Rosmo coming up Mountain Straight, so we're going to give him a bit of a push up Mountain Straight, try and get the move done, and we're going to try and follow suit. We run a bit deep. We almost made contact with Rosmo there. I'm not sure if we actually did. So if I did, I apologise to him. Obviously, never my intention, but it just ran a little bit hot into there. Think we might have made contact, but just having a look at the replay camera now, Rosmo clouts the wall there. You can see sparks flying off the right side of that BMW in the background. And so far so good. Going on to the end of lap 4, there was someone who was in the podium positions, definitely not anymore, with a big time penalty. Drops him out of the top 5 now, I think, and that puts us up to P4. So we're doing real well at the moment, comfortably running in the top 4 at the moment, and not that far off the lead either, to be honest. Going on to lap 5, and we're starting to get held up a bit by UNC Pubes here. We run a bit wide, clout the wall a little bit there, side by side now, and we've got a half a second time penalty for ignoring track limits. Gran Turismo, want to tell me what the hell that's all about? Okay, so we've got a half a second time penalty. That is not going to help our cause for trying to, I'm not going to say win this race, because I don't think that's possible. UNC Pubes, bit too deep there, over the top of the hill, runs a bit wide, and basically gives us P2 on the road. P3 effectively on track at the moment, but he'll probably get that spot back in a matter of seconds when we serve this, quite frankly, ridiculous half-a-second penalty. I presume it was because we might have just had all 4 tyres over the white line, back around at turn 4 or turn 5, whatever it was. And if that's the case, then personally I think that's a bit of a joke. But anyway, we served the penalty. BMW goes back past us up into P2. As you can see, there's no real hope of us even having a chance of winning this race. I mean, look where the leader is on the track map there, up the top right. He has just absolutely disappeared. But we're at the end of lap 5 now. I think the softs have done exactly what they needed to do. They've taken me far enough, so we're going to come in now for a set of medium tyres. You do have to use the mediums in this race at some point, so whether you want to use them at the start or the end of the race, it's your choice. For me, I wanted to be on the softs, just to be able to try and get some kind of track position and just hope that I'd be able to defend at the end of the race if the need arose to do that. But back out of the pits, back onto the track now. In P6 at the moment, somebody with a time penalty up there though. I think that's a Renault Megane that we passed on lap 3 or lap 4, not too sure. We'll have a look as we come up. Yes, it is. And that must have been a big time penalty because he was a long way up the road, but we've already overtaken him on the run up Mountain Straight, so that's a bit unfortunate for him there. But on the upside, that's a free position for us back up into P5, so currently ringing in the top 5 from P7 on the grid. And I'm not going to lie, I was really enjoying this at the time. I knew I wasn't driving to probably my full potential. I was being a little bit cautious. Obviously, I didn't want to throw anything away. Obviously, being on the wheel for the first time, I wasn't pushing as hard as I probably could. And, you know, probably bit me a little bit. As you can see, Rosmo not too far behind us, so he'll probably be a big threat in a few moments' time. But cutting on to the start of lap number 8, in P4 now, as I think one of the front runners made a pit stop, dropped him back down towards the back of the field, so promoted UNC Pubes onto the podium, us to P4, Rosmo P5, but looks like he wants to change that on the run up Mountain Straight. Rosmo goes up into P4. I kind of let him go there, to be honest. I didn't want to fight him. My thought process was, if I'm brutally honest with you guys, to let him go. I felt like he could maybe catch up to UNC Pubes, and if I could just stay with him, we might be able to snag P3. But unfortunately, we didn't manage to do so. On the lap 9, we've run wide at that same corner again. Luckily this time we don't get penalised though, so we got away with it that time. I don't know why, because I don't really see that many differences between that and what happened on lap 4 or 5, whichever one it was. But anyway, cutting on to the final lap, for the 10th and final time, coming back down the mountain. As you can see, the Lexus not too far behind us, but I think he's actually made a mistake coming down the mountain. You can see that gap has all of a sudden grown quite dramatically as well, so maybe a mistake from the Lexus. He's in the wall again at Forest Elbow, obviously pushing to try and catch up to us, but that's definitely not going to help his cause. So let's just go back and have a look at what happened here exactly. Coming down the mountain, he's not that far behind us. As you can see, he's pretty close actually, but he turns in just a whisker early, hits that wall on the left hand side, and that costs him a lot of momentum coming down the hill. And now as we come into Forest Elbow, a bit too eager on the power, and he mounts the wall, and unfortunately I don't think he's going to be able to threaten us for our P5 today, so we should be safe to come home for a top 5. And after qualifying P7 and the first proper, I guess, competitive race on the wheel, I am very, very pleased with this result. You can see the leader, he just absolutely disappeared, just made all of us look second rate in this race. But I'm not too worried about that as we come around the final corner now. And for the first race on the new wheel, on the new setup, from 7th on the grid, it's going to be P5 here at the mountain, and I will definitely take that. So there we go, top 5 in our first race on this new setup. That was a real good race, not going to lie, really enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want to see more videos. And until the next one, I'll see you all next time, and have a good one. See ya.